we are going to do a fun, quick project today. So I have a wonderful little lantern. Let's see if I can get that so you guys can see it. It's just an open face lantern. It's got a little bit of red and distressing. And it's got the little silo top to it. So there's nothing on the inside of this. So I thought maybe we'd put a really cool transfer on the inside. And I just got these in. So these are the new transfers from Orchid Designs. Really great English toile. I think it's 2 different pages of design. So you got one that's got little ladies out in the field with dogs and ducks, and it's got little houses on there, and it kind of repeats. So on the other one, you kind of have some of the same things. So I think it's just like a repeating pattern, but this one shows more of the little sheep and everything. So really cool. So you get 8 sheets of this, and so you get a lot out of it. So I'm going to use this to put in here, and it might be a little hard because I'm trying to go on the inside of this. So what I'm going to do to measure it out is I'm just going to kind of line it up with the bottom. And here's my side right here. See how I'm kind of right there at the edge? So I'm just going to do this and just kind of roll out my sheet. And there'll probably just be a little bit of overlap left, but that's fine. And if I have some coming up off the top, that's fine too. So I kind of want to cut somewhere around in here. And what's great about this is it's got these little grid lines so you can tell where you're cutting. And I want to get this seam right here. I want to get the little sheep in it. So I'm just going to cut across right here. You do get these little sticks that come with it so that you can transfer this down on. So I'm going to take this backing off, and it's going to be a little bit of a finagle because I'm trying to go inside of a concave surface. So I have to make sure I don't get this stuck to anything on the way in. But it's not like a sticker, so don't worry that it's going to stick to it really easy like a sticker. I should be able to position it just a little bit. And that kind of laid in there really nicely. If you can see very good with the light situation. Right here, you can probably see a little bit better. My little close-up camera. Very cool. Now, for the part of getting this to transfer and lay down, I'm going to use the little plastic piece that comes with it. And I don't really have to use any tape because this is galvanized metal. So it's kind of sticking to it pretty easy on its own. So I don't have to worry about using painter's tape. But if you have any trouble with getting it to stay while you're stay in place while you are rubbing, you can use painter's tape. And then we're just going to rub this on. It's kind of done pretty good already by itself. You hear that crackle, that means it's separating in from the transfer sheet, and it's going onto my surface. I think this is going to be very lovely. And oh goodness, look how pretty that looks inside. Oh my, isn't that lovely? It's wonderful. So I'm going to take this and just kind of go over it. Just what I just did, and just burnish it, just kind of flatten it down. You can use a little soft cloth to do this as well, but you've already got the sheet, so you may as well put it to use. Just smooth it down, just in case there were any rough edges left. So I've got one of these. This would actually technically be a better size to put in it, and I actually have a little fatter, rounder one that's a little bit taller that would probably look better. But the battery's dead in that one. This one actually has a battery. Oh, goodness. It would look better if the lights were turned out. But you get the idea. It's just really adorable. So if I actually had a brighter candle in here and I didn't have my lights on, you can see. But this would be a better size, but you can actually get some that are like a little peg candle about that big. That would look good in it. The other thing that we can do for our beautiful little candle holder, our little lantern holder, is we could actually do a little bit of a bow on top of this. That would look really sweet. And you can use any kind of ribbon you want. Ooh, that's really pretty. The black and white with the saddle stitch. I think that would look lovely. Let's put a little bit of this action on there. If you don't know how to do a bow, fairly simple. You just pinch, do a little loop, and then you go under, you twist, bring it back to you so you have the right side back up. Do a little loop, and then you twist. Got you another loop, and you just keep repeating that until you get as many loops as you want for the size bow that you want. I'm going to use a zip tie. Just a little cheapy zip tie. Get these from Amazon. Real thin. I'm going to use this to hold my bow together because I don't want wire sticking out. I'm just going to add some dovetails in. If you don't know what a dovetail is, you just take your ribbon, fold it over, cut from the inside to the out. And then you got your little dovetail. And if you wonder why florists and designers do that, is to keep the ribbon from fraying. So you either can cut it at a straight angle or do a dovetail. Never just chop it off like right here because the threads will pull out and fall apart. We have a cute little bow on top of our lantern. Adorbs, lovely. I'm just gonna kind of tie it off here on the handle, but we can go just a little bit extra with it if we wanted to. And who doesn't like extra? We can add just a little bit of greenery. So I've got a little bit of sprig of red fern here. Wonderful stuff. Nice, green, fuzzy, beautiful stuff. I love this. So we can add a couple of sprigs of this. A little goes a long way. And this lantern's not huge, so it's, you know, average lantern that you would set out on your porch would be somewhere around there. This is just a little small, like tabletop style lantern. So we don't want to get overgrown with this and hide the lantern itself. The other thing I've got is some rose hips. Love them. And the rose hips are available in my shop. I think I got a couple of them left. Just because we want to add just a little flair, just a tiny bit of flair to this guy. I mean, he's already got a lot of cool flair with the transfer. But, you know, we got to have some flowers on here, right? And you're just going to hold them in your hand and just kind of put them together. Just lay one on top of the other. You don't have to be a floral designing professional to do this. Very simply done. And then you'll stack some on top. Then you'll come back and put some behind it. So we've got all these together. Now what I want to do, I'm going to trim off some of this. Get it all kind of even. We're going to take our zip tie. I'm going to get another one of these. All right, so I got my bow. And I'm going to have the tails coming down like this, right? And I'm going to set my bow on top of all this greens and stuff that we've got. And then I'm going to take my other zip tie. And then I'm going to go through the bow's zip tie because I didn't tighten it all the way. As tight as I could. Go through that. And then I'm going to go around all of my greenery. And I'm going to zip tie it together. Now, you could just zip tie your greens together first. And then add your bow and then combine the two with a third zip tie if you're not able to hold it all together like this. I've been making stuff like this forever, so I know I can do it. So it's wasn't a huge issue for me. But if you're just starting out, you probably would need to just zip your greens and then go back and then add your bow to it. And then we want to tighten these up really good and then trim off the ends of your zip tie. Go. And now we got these little end pieces that are kind of sticking out, right? Just want to trim them some more so that they go down into the bow. Real pretty little quick little sprig of greens. Some little rose hips. You can put anything you want to with it. I mean, on your lantern, depending on the size of it, you would just add more or less. In order to hide all of our zip ties and stuff. Now, if you're doing this for yourself at home, no biggie, okay? But if you're making stuff to sell, you can't leave stuff like this hanging out for people to see, okay? You got to cover up your handiwork. And I do that with just an old leaf. When I do flowers and stuff, I make arrangements. Inevitably, I always have a leaf or two that falls off or I didn't need it. You know, I cut it off with a stem. And what we do here is we just glue that right over top of that zip tie so nobody sees it. And be careful when you're doing this because these little leaves are thin and when you put the glue on them and you got to push it down on there, you can burn your fingers. And then for this end piece right here, what I'm going to do is take this little piece that we had, this little end of this leaf, and I'm going to glue this in right here at the bow and cover up all of those ends of those stems. You can also just take another leaf and just wrap it around the end, right? So you can do this as well if you used up all of your materials. And you just happen to have a leaf left and that's it. Then you can do this also. Or you can use florist tape and wrap florist tape around it to cover everything up. And another thing you can use to cover like your handiwork is moss. So you can just go in and put a little dab of glue on it and then stick some moss on here to cover up any of those mechanics. And these are perfect at Christmas. The way that I made this, I made it so that you can use it year round because there's nothing in it that really screams Christmas other than red, right? So that's the only thing that says Christmas because we actually technically use sprig of rye fern. We didn't use pine, but even pine is fine to use year round. You might want to know how to get this onto your lantern. It's pretty simple. You can use another zip tie or you can use a pipe cleaner. I'll use a pipe cleaner for this because if I want to take it off easy, and then I just take the pipe cleaner, wrap it around, give it a nice little twist on the back, but keep in mind pipe cleaners do unravel. So give it a couple of twists. And I gotta fluff out my bow again. And then you can put this sucker right onto your lantern. Just lift your handle up, slip it through there, and then just tie it on, and then just tuck your pipe cleaner so nobody sees it. And there you go. A sweet little lantern with a sweet little lantern topper. Oh my goodness. And we have a beautiful transfer inside of this. And look how cute that looks. Kind of perched up there on our little lantern. Real cutesy little bow. Just completely adorable. And our little candle in there. Oh my gosh. And remember, use the battery operated. The toile really looks great inside of it. It's going to be beautiful when it's lit up. I think it's fantastic. I love it. And something like this in my store probably would sell for, you know, somewhere around $75. So really cute, really easy to make. You just need, you know, some of the toile transfer or any color, any type of transfer that you think would look pretty. A little lantern, couple of stems of, just a couple stems of sprigs of greens. I've got rose hips. You could use berries, little bitty bow on top of it. And then boom, zip tie them together and you have a ready-made beautiful piece that you can sell, or these would be fantastic as gifts at Christmas time. It's beautiful year round. You can jazz it up even more at Christmas. You could even add like little bells to these at Christmas time. That looks fantastic and great. These would be very inexpensive to make. And I know the transfers are a little bit of an investment, but you saw just how much I had left over. You know, I had a huge pack, so plenty to go around. So if you're interested in the Iod transfers, I have them in my shop. It's at CrestedPerch.com. Go check those out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys.